One of the common concerns that come up in this path of self-inquiry is, am I going to lose my personality? This is a question that comes up in different angles, and it's usually rooted in the fear that we are told to let go of all our identities, to let go of all our attachments and all the things that usually define us. So I want to use a little bit of a softer language here to refer to what we do in this process and how it actually looks in our experience. So maybe this fear is not something that is going to keep guiding your decision to move into this path of self-inquiry. Which again, this question comes in many ways, which is, am I going to stop being who I am? Am I going to not like the things that I like? Am I going to stop loving the people that I love? And so on. Again, usually because it is based on the idea that I have to let go of everything and I need to completely change my personality. That's not what this is saying. So what I want to use as a softer language, instead of saying letting go, don't identify, remove this from yourself, is use the word relaxation. So if you look at your mind, and let's start with the process of self-inquiry, you ask the question, who am I? And so answers are going to come up and they're going to define ourselves. I am this, I am that. Usually it comes in the form of labels that we have, stories, ideas, things that we have been told, some emotions that are rooted in us, and we say, I am a very joyful person, or nostalgic, or anger is part of me, and sadness, and all these things. So anything that might come up as an answer, just relax it. Just leave it as, okay, I know that came up as an intense feeling, as an intense response to the question, and I'll just relax it into this present moment. And as you relax it, you will see it that it stops having identity. And you keep doing this over and over with every iteration of answers to this question. And that's it. Instead of trying to push it and let it go and say, I'm not this, I'm not that, just watch it arise and then relax it. This is going to get you used to the process of just relaxing into whatever it is that's coming up in the moment. Because self-inquiry is not something that you have to continue doing, asking the question, who am I, who am I, who am I? You should ask this question for a period that seems appropriate for you in your path, but then realize, like, what's happening when I ask the question? Where does my attention go to, really, if it's not to these answers? And it stays on this feeling of presence. So as you arrive faster and faster into the state of presence, then you will just see that there are things that are coming up and you relax into them. And that's it. That's the whole process of us allowing these things that are defining us. The subtler and subtler you become with this realization, the more you're going to see what I call little ripples in the mind that are attracting our attention. Right? And these are just soft, very subtle narratives that are in our mind. And we look at them, we perceive them for what they are, and we relax again into being. We let the narrative play and we relax into being, allowing the narrative to be and our identity to be as it is as well. Not identifying with the narrative and just simply observing it, not rejecting it, simply observing it, relaxing into it over and over again. And as we do this, we'll see that there are parts of ourselves that come up with a demand of attention and identity. And these are the parts that of our personality that we really don't feel like they are congruent with ourselves anymore. What do I mean by ourselves? Why am I generalizing here? Because I assume that if you're watching this video, your primary desire is to have peace above anything else, to be calm, equanimous, and be in that stillness of your being inner and outer. So if this is what you want, then this is what we need to perceive as incongruent with ourselves. Things that are demanding our attention, and they're usually very emotional, or they're telling us a story based on fear. And all these things, believe it or not, are what initially we are afraid of letting go. The reason is because these things defined us and made us feel comfortable, safe, because these decisions based on fear kept us whole, even if unstable, whole. Just like in the body, homeostasis is not an indication of health, then this feeling of whole is not an indication of stability, of equanimity. So now that we have penetrated deeper layers of the surface of the mind, and we begin to see these fear-based decisions on our personality and the way we react to the world and people, then we begin to see in our relaxation, okay, I'm not that. I'm going to let it relax into me. You see what's happening here? One, you're not identifying with it, which is one of the ways that the ego can react to that narrative. And two, we're not running away from it, avoiding it, or covering up with another story or with another activity. We're being fully present with whatever it is that is arising. And so, again, you begin to uncover more and more of these stories that are based on fear, and we just relax into them. We, as it were, simply embrace it and let it dissolve within ourselves. Let the narrative arise, no identity, and let it dissolve within our attention, which is giving it full attention, not identity, but full attention, which means not running away. Like when you're listening to somebody, you're fully present. You're not talking back. You're not relating to anything that they say. You're just present and listening. You're not running away. You're present. Same thing here. And so just simply stay with that. This doesn't require anything advanced. This doesn't require deeper states of meditation. It only requires that we have dedicated time to listen to our minds and to begin to see what are those narratives that come up with a very intense identity that are incongruent with our desire to stay at peace, to stay calm, to stay equanimous, and then simply see them as what they are. They're simply a narrative. They don't define me, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm not going to run away from it. I want to feel the emotion. I want to feel what it says about me or what it says about somebody else. And that's it. So in this way, it's almost like at the beginning, we realize that we have a garden and we like all the plants that are there. But at some point we say, I like the plants that bear the fruit of peace, but I don't have enough of these plants. And so, well, we have to get rid of some of the plants. So we become afraid. No, am I going to lose my garden? Right? But you already know that some of the plants in your garden are not bearing the fruit of peace that you want. So what gives? Do you continue to have those and try to plant new ones that are going to bear you fruit among the others that don't? How are they going to grow? So here is where we need to realize, okay, I need to see that these plants are not bearing fruit anymore, or they never did. So now we have to let them go because they're choking our garden that wants to have more fruit. This is the state of cultivating your mind as a garden in which everything that you plant there is bearing the fruit of peace. And all the things, all the weeds, all the plants that are unnecessary in your mind, we're allowing them to wither away. We don't cultivate them anymore. We don't take them by root and take them out. We just let them wither. We let them die simply because they do not bear any more fruit instead of keeping them alive for no reason. And that's what we do subconsciously because we're so used to the full picture of the garden and we're afraid of changing it. We're afraid of change. And so, what is the medicine here? Attention, attention, attention. Attention to that which really matters, which is your true self in the moment. Your true self is never running away and also not ever identified with any narratives. It's simply the awareness of that which is. I hope this video is helpful. As usual, this is one of the things that I feel discourages a lot of people to try this path of direct experience of yourself through self-inquiry because of a fear of thinking that we're going to lose our personality. And you know what? The truth is that we are. We are going to lose parts of our personality, but it's only those parts that are incongruent with ourselves, that don't serve us anymore, and that they're really just waiting to wither away, just like those plants in the garden. So again, make this useful in your practice. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video.